Good evening, this is the Financial Week. I'm Herman Green. Lasco and Medimpex are to head back to court later this month after the judge hearing the case into claims of damages against U.S. drug giant Pfizer delayed that decision. Justice Vivian Harris has instead asked the parties to work out how much should be paid in a move which seems to reject the claims from Lasco and Medimpex. Dashan Hendricks reports.
More than 15 years of arguments and counter-arguments, local companies Lasco and Medimpex taking on U.S. pharmaceutical giant Pfizer, seeking a combined $322 million plus interest in damages for loss of sales associated with them being barred from selling a generic variety of Pfizer's hypertension drug, Norvasc. It started when Pfizer in 2002 complaining that the companies were infringing on its patent by selling the generic drug amlodipine, got court orders in 2005, blocking them from selling the product. The companies eventually got that to be overturned in 2012. Now, Friday, November 3, 2017, was to be D-Day. The judge hearing the claim for damages, Justice Vivian Harris was to say how much Pfizer is to pay the two entities for the 7 years of lost sales, but it never quite panned out that way. Instead, there were more delays. Lasco and the Medimpex were only awarded for the cost they faced to dispose the stock of the drug they had in store. Medimpex is to be paid $5.3 million for that, while Lasco is to get $156,000.
It's the special damages that have been fixed, and she has directed that that must be paid.
The judge said she could not award Lasco any more than $156,000 Jamaican dollars, essentially the cost to dispose of the stock it had. She said even though the lawyers claimed more, they did not marshal enough evidence to substantiate that claim. The ruling said that conclusion was arrived at because the cases presented seeking additional sums were premised on certain errors of principles and facts, most if not all of which were overstated. But that's not the end of the matter for the case. The claim for damages has been heard 18 times by the judge over the last 12 months. With the delay, a 19th date has been set. The lawyers are to return to court on November 24.
She has directed us to the paragraphs in the judgment which deal with that adjustment and asked us, being the counsel involved, counsel for Pfizer, counsel for Medimpex, and ourselves, to sit together and based upon those instructions to calculate what the damages should be and then to come back to her for her to make a final ruling on it.
Mr. Chen said he would not speculate on how much the damages would amount to given the new formula the judge has assigned to calculate the loss. Whatever figure is finalized will, however, attract interest in the sum of 8.23% per annum for 12 and a half years. Lasco now looks forward to that calculation to come in the next 3 weeks.
I am personally not disappointed because I expected she would have done something like that. Given the complexity of the case, it would be difficult for her to sit down and recalculate the amounts based upon the way she has adjusted the scenarios. And I think she was most wise to reserve that to counsel, to sit together and try to work out what the damages should be based upon what she has now written in the judgment.
So far, not what they wanted. What they will get in terms of damages is still to come. But does the judge's argument and the special award suggest the expectations should be tempered? No, only time will tell. For the Financial Week, I am Dashan Hendricks.
The price of oil closed up more than 2% to touch a new 2-year high today. Oil for delivery in December settled at $55.64 a barrel. It is up $1.10. Currency trading ended today with the US dollar at a new 14-month low, $127.11. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $99.91. The pound sterling is at $165.27, while the euro is going for $147 flat. Now, stocks ended mostly lower on Friday, causing the JSE Market Index to fall 1,314 points, while the Junior Market Index lost 53 points. The winners for the day included 1834 Investments, Caribbean Producers, JMB Group, Lasco Financial, Radio Jamaica, Scotia Group, and Supreme Ventures. On the losing end were Barita Investments, Cargo Handlers, Express Catering, Grace Kennedy, Jetcon, Main Event Entertainment, Portland JSX, and Salada Foods. And that is the Financial Week. I'm Herman Green. Good evening.